welcome to the prenatal class. How are you feeling today?
I feel good, except a little bit of SI, left leg stuff going on, but I can still move.
Okay. Do you notice more pain when your legs are wider or more narrow?
It's mostly when I'm like walking.
Walking?
Like sitting, I barely even feel it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, at all today, if you feel more comfortable propping up on a blanket or something when we are seated, if that helps, you have that option. We have our bolster and 2 blocks. And yeah, let's begin. Okay, so we'll close our eyes and let's bring our hands to heart center just so we can kind of drop into this space. Start connecting to our breath. Sitting nice and tall in the spine, slightly tucking the chin. We'll begin our practice with 1 audible Take a nice big inhale. Letting your breath fall naturally, noticing where it is in your body. You can release your hands to your knees. And then maybe bring 1 hand to belly, 1 hand to your heart. Let's see if we can practice breathing more into the diaphragm and lower rib and belly area. Letting that expand on our inhale and soften on the exhale. Letting the sound of the natural rhythm of our breath and heartbeat guide us today. Noticing how the breath feels with the pelvic floor muscles. With every inhale, relaxing, softening. Very good. Feel free to open your eyes or keep them closed. We're going to start with just some neck circles. Leaning forward and then to the right, going around. Just keeping your breath steady and going as slow or fast as it feels good to you and your body. And then switching sides. Letting the jaw relax. Coming back to center. And speaking of jaw relaxation, so our jaw is connected to our pelvic floor muscles, so we want to make sure we are mindful of when we are tensing up and clenching those muscles in those areas. So just bringing awareness to the jaw, softening when you notice any tension. And then let's do some hip circles, coming forward and round, maybe rounding out the spine. And then switching directions next time, your front. Very good. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale to the right, lean to the right, opening up that side body on the left. Opening this side for baby. Inhaling back up. Exhaling to the left. wrapping the hands. And now we're going to take a nice like open stretch on an inhale, opening up the heart, and then exhale, hugging in for like an eagle arm hug. Inhale, open. Exhale, opposite cross. Let's do 2 more. Releasing, dropping down, and then just doing some gentle shoulder rolls forward. And then back. Feeling all the crunchiness. Okay, and then we're going to move into tabletop. So however you want to, if you want to slide your feet out and then come over to tabletop. Depending on how your wrists are feeling today, you have a couple options. So if flat palm is good, that's fine, or you can come onto your fists. Or if you want extra more space in the belly and chest, you can always come up on blocks. So that is an option available to you. And then moving through some cat-cow, inhale, lift the chest and heart space. Exhale, hug the baby in, bringing baby to spine. Inhale. Exhale. Checking our knees, making sure we're nice and wide here. Back to a neutral spine here. Let's extend the right leg, keeping the toes down first for a nice little calf stretch. And then we're going to move into more of a bird dog. So lifting that back leg, hugging baby in, engaging our core, and see if you can lift the left arm if that's available to you. You can always keep that arm down. Getting nice and long from the fingers to the toes, being mindful not to sink into the shoulder, and then release. Very good, maybe sway from side to side. Great, and then extending our left leg. Once you're ready, you can lift that back leg, hugging baby in. Very good. Releasing. Working on a little hip strength and glute strength. We're going to do just a couple fire hydrants. So we'll take our right knee just out to the side and then back down. Out, down. Let's do 2 more. How's that feeling for your?
Good.
Good, okay. See if we can do that on the other side. Do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Take a little rest in child's pose. Let's bring our knees wide, making room for belly, and you have the option to just come on to more of a polar bear, which is onto your forearms. Are you open to any assists?
Sure.
Okay. Keeping our breath nice and steady here. Nice big inhale, and then exhale. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up onto our tabletop. I'm gonna come face you now, but you can stay your direction. And then we're gonna stay on our left knee, extend the right leg out to the side, rooting through the outer edge of that foot. Maybe place your hands on your hips and come up. Very good. And then if it's available to you to come all the way down, very good, left hand, and then reach the right arm up overhead, getting nice and long through this side. Maybe take some arm circles, opening up the shoulder. And then see if you want to walk forward. Very good. And then you'll kind of feel this in the inner thigh. Yeah. How's that for your SI and hip area? Very good. And then we'll slowly walk our hands back under our shoulders, releasing this extended leg. Take our left leg out. Very good. Bringing our hands to our hips, coming up. And then extending down to the right. The left hand comes up to the sky, maybe reaching all the way overhead. Taking some of those circles, opening up the heart to the sky. Just using this moment to just tune in. This is your practice, so whatever feels good in your body today, I will guide you, but you can take any kind of variation that feels right for you. And then when we're ready, we'll swing that arm forward. Sending the breath to anywhere where we feel tension today. Our breath is a tool that will last all through pregnancy and childbirth. Very good. Releasing, bringing that knee back to meet the other. And then we'll walk our hands to the left and then just sit our hips back a little, feeling a more side stretch and glute stretch. Very good. Coming back and walking over to the right. Sitting to the left. Very good. Walking back to the forward. Shift how I am, but you stay. All right, great. Now from here, we're going to take our right foot, see if we can fit it to the outer edge of the right hand. I'm just going to bring your blocks closer to you. Here. And then see if you can heel toe that foot more in between your hands. Very good. We're going to maybe scoot that left leg back just a little. Inhale, lift our chest. And exhale, send the hips back and walk your fingertips back, flexing the right foot. See how that feels. Keeping that breath nice and steady. Adding some dynamic movement here, so we'll inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. While we're back here, let's see if we can keep our left fingertips down and open up to the right. Very good. Slowly bringing that hand down, walking back forward. Doing one more twist here, so you can stay with the back knee dropped and open up to the right. Or if you want a little more, you can tuck those toes and lift that leg. Completely up to you. And slowly lowering that hand down, sending that right leg back. Maybe doing a couple little hip circles here.
The circles.
It is or isn't?
Isn't.
Okay, we do not have to do them.
Just little ones.
Yep.
I love doing that too. My favorite.
Okay. Very good. When we're ready, coming back to center. And then we'll see if we can get our left foot to a wider outer edge of the left hand. Very good. Just breathing into our hips, so you can even, if movement is available to you, see what that feels like. And then we'll walk our foot to the center, maybe using the blocks again, giving ourselves more room. And then inhale, lifting forward. And then adding that dynamic movement, another inhale. And then exhale, walking back, straightening that leg. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, just feeling what works. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale. Very good. Staying here, staying on the right fingertips, open up to the left. Releasing that hand down, walking forward, and then taking one more opening, and option to stay on the knee or lift the knee. So whatever feels good. And then slowly releasing that hand down, we'll carefully walk that knee back. And we can just come onto our bums real quick on our feet. We're just gonna stretch out our wrists from all that work. So we can bring our hands together and just kind of do some figure eights. This takes me a minute to figure out. And then if you want to try taking the backs of the hands down onto the mat, see how that feels. Releasing and then trying the other way, bringing the fingertips towards you. Good, releasing, shaking the hands out. We're going to make our way to standing. So slowly coming up to hands and knees, squatting, and then coming up to a stand. Very good. So we are going to take a slightly wider Tadasana, so our feet will be more hip belly width apart today. And then I invite you to just kind of close your eyes and tune into your posture. Micro bend the knees. And then just notice how you're feeling in your low back, maybe in your shoulders and neck. And then let's take one hand to the front of our belly and one hand to our low back and explore some pelvic tilts. So you'll rock your pelvis forward and then back, forward, back, and then see if you can find that sweet spot in the middle. And then for really good alignment, it's helpful to think of, so our pelvis in this area, and then our ribs are directly on top, and heart, and then our head, slightly tucking in the chin, being mindful of if our ribs are flaring out. See if you can relax the pelvic floor on your inhale. Maybe it engages on the exhale a little bit. Very good, and then bringing your hands to hips, let's just do some figure eights again. Here, just kind of moving the hips if that works for you. Alright, and then we'll move through a Surya Namaskar A, modified for us today. Let me know how any of it feels. So we will inhale, reach our hands up overhead. And exhale, you can fold forward if that's only available. Very good. Maybe inhale to a flat back. We're going to exhale down to table. Very good. Bring our right foot forward. Inhale the arms up. Very good. Exhale the arms back down. Now place our hands on our low back. Coming up to a kneeling position, see if we can open the chest. And then exhale, take a child's. A little bit different than the usual Sunday. Inhale back up to our knees. This time we'll bring our left foot forward. And then you can either do hands to hips or hands all the way up. And then exhaling the hands back down. And then bringing our hands to our low back. Coming to the knees or feet, whatever feels right for your body. And then exhale, child's. Very good. Inhale back to table. And we'll just bring our right foot forward. And then the left. See if we can come into a low little squat as we slowly roll up to standing. Inhaling the hands up. And exhale, Tadasana. Do another one, inhaling. Exhale, folding. Inhale halfway. Exhale, coming onto our knees. Very good. Bringing that left foot forward for our low lunge. And then inhaling the hands up. And exhaling the hands down. Coming back onto our knees, taking our camel pose, so the hands come to the low back. And then exhale, child's pose. Or polar bear if you want to be on the forearms. Inhaling back up. Right leg comes forward. Inhale. Exhale down. Placing that knee back down. Hands come to low back and the sacrum. And exhale, child's. Another breath here, maybe inhale through the nose And exhale out the mouth. Very good. Shifting forward. Taking our left foot forward this time. And preparing to come into a little squat. Bringing that right foot forward. Very good. And then slowly roll up to standing. Inhaling the hands up. Exhale, Tadasana. Good. See if we can inhale, sit back into chair pose. So make sure our stance is nice and wide. And you can either take your hands to your thighs or inhale them up, whichever feels good to you. Very good. Just kind of breathing here, engaging our thighs. Good. Maybe placing your hands to hips and then take your left foot back for crescent. And now it'll be helpful probably to play around with your stance. You might want to bring your feet closer together than maybe previously before being pregnant. And you can also take a wider stance if you need more stability. We're going to inhale, straighten our leg. And exhale, come into a lower lunge. Bending that back knee, very good. You can always use the wall for extra balance support. We'll do a couple of these. Hugging baby into engaging all our core and glute muscles. Good job. We'll do one more. Good. Now from here, let's just pivot that back foot into a warrior one position. So the foot's at about a 45-degree angle. See how that feels with your hips and check in with your stance. Maybe inhale the arms up now. And then I'm just going to make your blocks more handy for you. Let's try that. And so we're going to come into a pyramid pose. So we're going to straighten that front leg. And then see if you can hinge forward at the hips. And then you can always take the taller, whatever level the block works for you. Relaxing our pelvic floor in this position. Keeping baby close. Very good. To come out of this, we'll slowly bend our knee. Reach our hands back up, finding warrior one. Exhale, hands to hips, and then we're going to shift forward to chair again. Just taking our squat, maybe inhale, and then exhale, come to Tadasana. Great, we'll do the other side. Inhale, chair. Hang out here for an extra breath, noticing if the tailbone needs to be slightly tucked a little more. Hugging baby in. Very good. Maybe bringing your hands to your hips as you step your right foot back this time. Or is it? Yeah. Okay. For our crescent lunge. And then slowly bending that back knee, we'll do our little crescent dips. We did about 5, so I'm going to try more. I feel like we should do one more for good luck. Very good. And then coming into warrior one stance. Seeing how your hips feel, adjusting. You know, every day our center of gravity shifts, so it's okay if one day we stand a certain way and the next day is different. Maybe inhale the hands up. Relaxing the shoulders. Notice our breath, bringing attention to breathing in our diaphragm and belly. Very good. Placing your hands to your hips, maybe instepping that back foot a little bit, straightening the front leg, and then hinging forward, finding our blocks for pyramid. Keeping the spine nice and long. As we build heat, notice how our breath can support us. And then slowly coming out of this, bending that front knee. We can just step into a squat this time. Maybe this time placing our forearms onto our thighs. And slowly round the spine to standing. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, Tadasana. Beautiful. We're going to come to the wall now. So I'll just come next to you. This is a nice alternative to downward facing dog if you do get to the point where indigestion and things like that make that not possible or feeling good. So we're going to place our hands. This is going to be an L stretch at the wall. So we're going to place our hands at about chest height. We can adjust and we're going to step back. So yeah, maybe our hands come a little bit lower and basically form this L shape. And for the first section, let's stay active in our shoulders, so not sinking. Very good, that looks great. Nice flat back. Maybe play around with a wider stance, and then let's kind of shake our tail feathers a little bit. Opening up the hips, if that works for you, if not. This is a great pelvic floor relaxing pose. It seems like so often people talk about strengthening the pelvic floor, but when it comes time to birth, you know, we need to be able to do both, and the relaxing and opening is very important. And then if you want to deepen the shoulder stretch, you can let your chest drop a little if that feels good to you. And then coming back up, we're going to take our figure 4 stretch at the wall today instead of on our backs. So we can hold on to the wall for our support, root down through your left foot, and then bring that right ankle. See if you can bring that above the knee. Very good. And if sitting back's available to you, keeping that right foot flexed. Breath is nice and steady. Good, slowly releasing, maybe shaking out the knees, and then rooting down nice and strong through the right foot. When you're ready, bringing that left ankle above the right knee. Notice if one side feels different, and that's okay, noticing without judgment. jaw and hips. Come back to my spot. We are going to make our way down to the mat, so we can come however you want to get there, squatting down or coming onto a table. And then we're going to scoot our feet off to the side, planting our feet. We're going to come onto our backs, but it's just for a short little while. So you can keep your feet nice and grounded. Actually, let's roll over to our side, just for the transition, and then we'll roll over to our back. So it's good to do it this way to protect any muscle shearing or doming. Okay, and we're going to do some pelvic tilts, just like when we were standing. So for here, if you want, it can be helpful to place your hands on your low belly, below the belly button, and see what it feels like to tilt the pelvis forward, engaging the pelvic floor muscles, and then releasing them. So this gentle little tilt back and forth. And for the purpose of this exercise right now, we're not going to engage our glutes as much. So mostly want to activate the pelvic floor muscles. I like to inhale as I release and exhale as you tilt forward. Go back. Yes. Very good. Coming to a neutral position. Placing your hands down by your sides. Preparing for bridge. Keeping our knees about hip or even wider, whatever feels, or closer, depending on what feels good for you. We're going to lift on the exhale. So we'll take a nice relaxing inhale. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor, and then lift the hips. Inhale, release down. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor, lift the hips. Inhale down. Good job. Let's do 3 more of those at your own pace. And on this last one, we'll stay lifted. Very good. Keeping our breath nice and steady, we're just going to do a couple dips here. Engage the pelvic floor, and just do a couple little drops down, back up, down. You can use your glutes here. Any shaking is normal. Just engaging our low body. And last one, when you're ready, we'll release down. Maybe bring the knees up, if that feels okay for your low back, to do a little massage. Rolling around, maybe little mini circles or side to side. And rolling over to one side, this is just to press ourselves back up. So we'll roll over to our side, whichever's comfortable. And then press yourself back up to a seat. Good. A couple more poses for our restorative section. So we're going to come into Gomukhasana, or cow facing pose. So take our right knee, bending our left foot comes to the side, and see if you can cross on top. See how that feels. Keeping your feet flexed, you can shift your hips up to adjust. If you want to be on a blanket for more support, I can grab that for you. You good? Okay. So we'll just open up our chest here, breathing into this pose. have the option to do a shoulder opening as well. So we can take the right hand behind us and up the back, and then the left hand up and then down. See if you can meet your fingertips. If not, that's okay. Bringing more, using breath to bring more length and space into the body. And then slowly releasing your hands. And depending on how much space you have, you can try tenting your fingers forward, rounding the back. Maybe not rounding the back and just hinging forward. See if that feels any different. Very good. And then slowly walking our hands back up. Just opening up our legs. Doing a little windshield wiper action. Take this on the other side. So now our left knee comes down first. Left foot comes towards the right hip. And then our right across. Noticing how this side feels. Just inhaling, getting nice and long. Sending your breath, using it to bring a sense of calm to your hips. And then also if you want to take that shoulder opening, we can take the left hand up the back and right hand over. This side's easier for me.
So tight here right now.
Yeah, and if you ever want to practice this again with a strap, that can also help. Very good. Slowly releasing. Coming back to our windshield wipers. And then we will come into, we'll need our bolster. Grab it for you. We'll be placing it, actually you're already prepping. We're gonna place it about right here. And then we're gonna come into our deer, restorative deer pose. So we'll take, I'll do opposite you. So you'll take your left knee forward, right leg back. Perfect. And then our bolster comes right up against our hip. And then we'll just lean over, maybe rest on our arm. And let your body completely soften here. Letting the bolster bear your weight. Good, and slowly pressing yourself back up. We're going to take this on the other side. yourself adjusted as needed. And getting our hip right up against that and laying down. Remembering to keep your jaw relaxed and the muscles in the face. And the shoulders. And when you're ready, slowly press yourself back up to seated. We'll do our final resting pose. So we will do a supported fish pose for our Shavasana today. And if that doesn't feel good to you, we can always do a sideline. So we'll take a block, we'll make a T with our block. So we'll take the lowest level will be the length of our spine, and then the next level will be right behind it. Perfect. And then we'll take our bolster on top. See how that feels. Very good. And then we'll bring our low back against base here. And then just slowly lay back. And then before you fully settle, maybe lift the hips one time just to adjust the pelvic area so it feels right. And then a couple options on the legs. You can extend them all the way. You can do the bound ankle pose by keeping the feet together, knees wide. Or you could keep your feet grounded, and I could get a bolster for under your knees. That's good? Okay. And then letting our hands fall open, receiving more calm and serenity. Letting yourself just melt completely into your mat, bolster, blanket. And then begin to imagine this warm yellow light glowing at your heart space. And this light gets bigger and bigger. It connects to your belly and baby. And then it surrounds your whole body in this protected golden bubble. You are supported. You are safe. And you have all the strength you need. Strength for motherhood, birth, and the rest of pregnancy. Keeping those face muscles relaxed. Maybe letting the jaw fall a little open, relaxing the tongue. And begin bringing life into your fingers and toes. Maybe doing a gentle face massage. Bringing your feet up to the blanket and then rolling over to a side. Coming gently, carefully off the bolster. Pressing yourself up. Very good. Okay, we will just finish with one little short breathwork exercise just to close out our practice and seal in more sense of calm and restfulness. So this is the lunar breath. So it's similar to Nadi Shodhanam, but we'll just be breathing through one side. So we will be closing our right nostril with the right thumb and bringing the middle finger to the third eye, and then use either the pinky or ring finger for the left nostril. And what we'll do is we'll first start like this with the right nostril closed. Breathe in through the left, closing it, and out through the right. And this is just going to be a one direction breath. So we'll close the right and breathe back in through the left. This breath helps us connect more to our intuition, brings in more relaxation. You can incorporate this into your day, any time of the day, maybe even right before bed. Let's do one last breath. Releasing the hand, inhaling through both nostrils.